yes, you don't need to worry about Fukushima water affecting your health in China because the fake bottled water will.
What they do is they'll go, and these criminal organizations will run this.
Yeah.
They'll take bottles that they get out of the garbage.
Yes.
Right. Bottled water, a popular brand being Nongfu Spring or
Yes.
Nestle Pure or whatever. Anyway, what they do is they get those bottles and they bring them to these plants with untreated water, and they fill them up and they recap them and they sell them.
Sorry,
as
I just want to
counterfeits.
get back to that. Yeah, the thing is,
We've seen this.
we've seen this in action.
We saw it in a landfill.
Yes.
They were doing it in a landfill. Oh.
Here's something that still is kind of shocking to people. You cannot drink the water in China. Everybody must buy water. Okay, can you imagine living your life where you have to buy water? Okay, you have to go and buy water in a shop or from a vendor or something like that. You cannot drink the water from the municipality. You cannot drink the water from the faucet or the tap.
Nope.
You must buy water. Okay, so that's why, number one, it's a huge generator of plastic pollution, because think about the billions of bottles of water that have to be drunk every week in China. 1.4 billion people in the population, well, plus minus Zhou, Shangsha, you know what I mean? You got all these people have to drink bottled water. They're going to drink it out of a plastic container. It's being sold in the shops. The amount of plastic that's being produced and thrown away and ending up in the landfills and the
I got
ocean.
good news for you.
What's that?
They recycle it here.
Yeah,
This untreated water. By the way, I think people are confused. They think this is like, it's like bad conditions at this company. This is a counterfeit water place.
Yeah, it's a counterfeit water place. They're taking brand name bottles that have been taken from the trash or from restaurants. They sometimes buy them from restaurants who collect them, after serving them. And then, let's look at what they do. They have a little system here where maybe they've got a filtration system. You can see.
We literally worked next to a shop that did this with beer.
Yeah, fake beer. Yeah, they have. Do you see in the background? They have a filtration system, so it's filtered, but it doesn't matter. You cannot filter out the heavy metals and the very bad parts. So
you say that, but we saw raw water coming out of areas doing this. They're filling up those big jugs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I saw people, the jugs that you get in like a water cooler, because you can buy those too. Most people in their house, they have a little water cooler and they buy that big jug that goes
like
on
an office cooler.
That type of thing. We saw people using fire hydrants to fill them up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not something that you should be drinking. But they fill them up, seal them with a little machine, sell them. People probably won't know, because you drink a little bit of this here and there, you're not going to get sick immediately. You get cancer over time. But here's the thing. You can seal the Nongfu Spring bottles and so on.
And other brands.
Yeah, and the Nestle water that you buy in China. They fill them up with this filtered fake water, and you think you're buying a brand name. When you go into a little convenience store or something like that, and you're buying it out of the fridge.
I've gotten fake water a lot. You can tell when it's like too squishy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like,
I remember that.
So, you go in the shop, you buy this, you think you're buying a brand name, so you think it's safe, and you're just drinking like cancer water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could put it through that filter. It's not going to take out the really bad stuff.
No, I did it. Even on the name brand water.
Even the name brand water is not good.
Yeah,
I remember you did that. Yeah. You got a water testing kit and tested that was all rubbish.
I imported it from America for like hundreds of dollars, and it only cost like $10 in America.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But just to show you that, like, there's a lot going on when it comes to environmental crimes in China.
Yes.
And the worst part of this is that the Chinese people suffer the most.
Yeah.
These counterfeit water operations are hurting Chinese people, at the end of the day, because they're the people consuming this. And you will too if you're in China. You will consume fake products at some point. You will always, doesn't matter what it is, if it's alcohol or food or something, you'll be consuming something fake somewhere down the line. But the fact is, the Chinese people suffer. And that's the worst part of all of this,
Yes.
And at the same time, the government's whipping everyone up in a frenzy to go and blame Japan, and they're like burning down sushi restaurants and doing all sorts of stupid things, hurting, again, Chinese people, because who owns that restaurant? Not a Japanese person. A Chinese person opened that Japanese restaurant.
Yes.
Why are you breaking it? What are you doing?
Why are you hurting your own country?
Yeah, what are you hurting your fellow citizens' livelihood for? What is wrong with you, you know? That's what the government wants. This is the sad reality that is China, unfortunately, at the end of the day, I like he's got a Stussy t-shirt, by the way.
Yeah, and he's smoking.
I used to think that was such a cool brand when I was in high school.
That was a cool brand, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, I think I had that same shirt.
That's
like
cool.
circa 96.
It's come back for sure.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, big time.
I think he's wearing one from 96, though.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's running a counterfeit water company. So.
Exactly. So he's not someone you look up to. You know what I mean?
No, in fact, I would look down.
Yeah, probably, yeah. What's special about this map?
Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's not special because it's wrong.
Okay, well, I mean, this is an official map from the Chinese government. So what context was this map released in?
So China released their new official map. So this is when you go to, I don't know, if you went to like the White House and you saw a map of the US, what they use, this would be the equivalent. This is Beijing's new map.
This is Beijing's official map.
Correct. And it's been updated.
Right.
Well, China is doing a stellar job of unifying the entire world against it recently. They are just like, if you want to know what diplomacy is and you look up antonym, it would actually just show a picture of Xi Jinping.
Right.
Because they've managed to make everyone mad, even people that were kind of on their side. They've now officially claimed the entire South China Sea.
Okay, so if I get us out of there, see that 9-dash line? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so now it's official, right?
So it's official, but also look how close it goes to the borders of all these other
It claims
countries.
the Philippines territory.
Yeah.
It claims Malaysian territory. It claims Vietnam's territory, and of course Taiwan.
Yeah.
It gets so up in
Taiwan's
everyone's...
inside
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Yeah.
It gets up in so many countries' businesses that these countries that even might have been okay, like we were looking at Marcos Bongbong in the Philippines probably going to side with China, that has flip-flopped completely. The Philippines has gone full 180.
Yeah.
Malaysia, always been pretty cozy with China, 180. Vietnam, kind of trying to play both sides, has just allied with the U.S. more or less.
Sure.
China has just managed to make everyone mad, but the most angry are the Indians, who are now looking at Arunachal Pradesh as an official territory now of the Chinese government on all of their maps that they will hand out to everybody and use in examples. This is not a tabloid. This is the official Beijing government.
So in this new map, they have claimed not only the whole South China Sea, but areas of land that belong to other countries. Can you give us some examples?
Arunachal Pradesh,
Okay, in India.
Philippines, the Scarborough Shoals.
Yeah.
All of the islands that they've created within the South China Sea, all the way down to Malaysia. Look at the the 9-dash line.
Yeah, it goes all the way down
all
there.
the way down to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Which owns all of that ocean, by the way.
Yeah.
All the way skirting all of Vietnam, which owns all of their own sea.
Yeah.
Is now just the South China Sea.
Yeah.
And this is where the controversy comes in. The UN Council that looks at kind of sea territory has said that this is not okay.
Yeah.
They said they negate this. This is inappropriate. It's not real, right? And China is doubling down and made their own official map, and they want to usurp all international agreements about this.
Yeah.
And it's really banding together Asia. We're looking at possibly an Asian alliance against China. And the crazy thing about that is that that might not sound like a big deal, but China wants to lead all of Asia. Yeah. Like whether or not they have entire global ambitions to line their pockets or whatever, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But at least being the leader, the territory leader of Asia is their absolute goal.
Yeah.
And they've squandered all of those opportunities now. There's almost no countries left other than like Laos and Cambodia, which have favorable views of China at this point. Yeah. And so we're looking at a global alliance or an Asia alliance, maybe at some point that might be a security alliance, kind of like NATO or something, where Japan and South Korea spearhead.
Yeah.
It's everything's going against China's plans.
They're making mistake on top of mistake on top of mistake. They're very bad at diplomacy, and it's so horrible to see it go the way it's gone because China was going in the right direction for the longest time. Xi Jinping takes over, and it's just going back in time. Yeah. It's just awful to see it happen over and over again, and this belligerence.
Yes.
And this going on the attack, these horrible, based. I mean, how do you even explain the wolf warriors and all the shills that work for them? They are so unsophisticated, so uncivilized.
Well, that's why they make those archetypes, those other shills and like Western shills or whatever, to wash that. They have a mandate. Again, they wash it through those people. Be like, I like this guy. He's reasonable. And every time it smells funny, it usually is, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So here you've got the
just
a zoom in on
detail. Look at that sheer audacity.
Yeah. It's like, this is ours.
All of that is China's now. Look at how far that goes.
Yeah. Urine in that pool than there is water.
Yeah, almost everyone in there is peeing. There are many types of perverts.
Predatorial, salivating wolf. You perv.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Perv.
Drooling. Yeah, exactly.
And he goes, catching. He's taking pictures. Look at his drool.
Yeah, it's like a drooling upskirt photo guy. Grope, he likes to grope. Yeah.
This is the official GIF of the CCP. That's an official CCP
That's an official example of being a pervert. I like how he's got a magnifying glass. What could make that worse?
Definitely going all the way in.
Well, how about submersing us? I mean, that's next level. That's just.